Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiancée Annette for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So I'm going to go into what we were shipping out today on Wednesday. So I didn't really pay attention to the sales too much. Annette does all of the offers. So I was just like busy listing some stuff. And then kind of side note is I'm pretty low on my free listings for the month. I have like 31 actually left. You can do some like free categories. I think there's like some collectibles like books, CDs and stuff. I think I have to like look into the weeds of like what is allowed or isn't. So that's the stuff. I guess yeah, Netta's yelling at me. That's just the media. So it's been weird because I have a lot of like board game bits and pieces that I want to list, but like we have in the past spent a little bit of money once we reach our cap to just like list a bunch of stuff. How much did we spend that one time? Do you remember or no? It was like $30-ish to like list a bunch of stuff. We did get a bunch of sales from it, so it was a weird experiment that we tried one time. So like didn't ever do it again. So all right, I'm just rambling at this point, but my point is I have to wait till March 1st to be able to like list a bunch of like the rest of the board game bits and pieces I got. All right, so the first thing that sold right here is One Life versus Reincarnation, a music CD. This one ended up selling for $12.44 plus shipping. Everything is going to be plus shipping right here. We got a bunch of CDs a long time ago for $75. We filled up the whole car. And because like I was just talking about, rambling about that, we can only list CDs right now because they're free listings. That's what I've been working on. I'm getting kind of close to finishing them. I always forget like how many we got that one day because they take up a small amount of space and it was like the full car. I had a picture of it one time. I wish I like saved the picture, but at one point I was out of space. So I had to delete a bunch of pictures. It'd be really cool to post on the YouTube. We weren't planning on doing YouTube at the time, so I just didn't save it. But yeah, it was ridiculous, like the amount of CDs. All right, next up right here is Vintage High Times, June 1988, Electronic Drugs magazine. I think Annetta grabbed a couple of these. This is actually from one of two places. I can't fully remember. Do you remember? Did you grab this from? This was either Half Price Books or it was from the person where we got a bunch of magazines and stuff when they were clearing out their storage unit from nearby my storage unit. They still have more stuff to actually sell us. I reached out to them a couple weeks ago and they said only when the weather got warmer here that she was willing to come out. She's like busy with like her job and stuff like that. And she was exhausted going there for a couple weeks just cleaning out. Her dad had 3 storage units like filled to the brim with a lot of stuff. All right, but yeah, this magazine's pretty, like it looks pretty cool. I don't know anything about it. It's talking about like right here, heavy metal history, Khoi Samu, sex and drugs in Thailand. Really, really interesting. Really weird magazine. That's the kind of stuff we like to sell. It sold for $11.25, which is pretty good for just one magazine. Usually I like to lot them up. Those ones I think I just listed individually because there weren't as many when I was listing them on eBay. I don't know about today. All right, moving along. Really rambly today. These are a bunch of fantasy miniatures. There's like shields on a sprue. Sorry, these are like bits and pieces. So there's shields, swords. There's other like scythes and like other like weird made up fantasy weapons. This one looks like a little spear, like a javelin. They had on the sprue, usually these sprues for these either miniatures or board games, they'll have some kind of like number or denomination of like how you're supposed to know like which one it is. It had like weird numbers like RM and some numbers. So I put that in the listing. So I didn't know like what game this went to. This stuff still sells. People use it for bits and pieces. They like to modify their miniatures. They can put them on the bases of miniatures, or they just want to practice painting. A lot of stuff they can do with them. $9.11. So not having like the name and stuff. If I had the name and stuff of like what game that went to, probably could have gone for more. That's still pretty good because I get those like little bits and pieces and sprues really cheap. All right, next up, I'm really nervous about this. This is the untest. I did not know how to test this. 3D active glasses. I don't remember where we got this from, honestly, at this point. Everything looked good in there. We'll see if it's a return or not. This ended up selling for $12. And I'm sad because I forgot to grab it again. We had another Dr. Seuss. It's Horton Here's a Who. It's a gray shirt. It's a small size, and it has Horton the elephant, and there's like a dust cloud or something behind him. Really cool. I'm not sure what happened with Dr. Seuss because we've had these listed for a little bit now. We got a bunch of these shirts really cheap. And I guess they're pushing out our Dr. Seuss or our shirt category right now. It sold for $11.24. It's pretty cool. We got them for like a couple pennies, like actually like really cheap. And we have a bunch. They're in a green bin over here, not in the storage unit. So that's why when I'm at the storage unit, this is all the stuff I grabbed from there. That's why I forgot it and super rambly again. All right. Pretty cool thing. Sorry, I can't show it. I'll try to remember for the next time the next one sells, and I'll probably forget again. All right, moving along. We have this Magic the Gathering Throne of Eldraine. This is the gift bundle box right here. So this is just a box. It's really shiny. It has like the character right there. I forget which one this is. Right here. Really cool. These Magic the Gathering once in a while, or I think all the time, every Christmas they'll do some kind of special gift bundle. I think they've done like a Lord of the Rings one. They did Throne of Eldraine. I think they did like, I want to say it was like Khans of Tarkir. I can't think of any others sets right now, but yeah, they always want to have something. So like when a mom, a dad, a boyfriend, girlfriend walks into a shop, they go like, hey, I don't know anything about this Magic the Gathering thingy fantasy game. What do I get them for Christmas, right? And you're supposed to be like, oh, here's a gift bundle. It comes. This one came with collector booster packs, which were the more expensive booster packs, which had like shiny cards, full art cards. I think technically at the time they were like $25 or something a pack, or 20. So these were like really premium packs, but you also got basic lands. You also got some promo cards. You also got this really cool, the box is actually shiny, really good condition. We sold another one of this before. This sold for $14.99. All right, next up is going to be this particular hardcover book, The Final Storm, a novel of the war in the Pacific by Jeff Sahara, right here, hardcover book. We got a bunch of these military books. Oh, I forgot to grab. I was supposed to bring some back home today to list because it's a free category. I might actually go back to the storage unit to grab some because I still have a ton of these military books that I got in a massive haul one time. It was, I think, like $200 or $300. We got like 30 boxes of like 40 to 80 books, depending on the size. Obviously, like a bigger book in a box takes up more space, but I still have a bunch left. This sold for $9. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, that came from like a really cheap haul a long time ago. All right, next up, really cool thing. This gives me like cool nostalgia. Yeah, cool thing. I just always say cool. I don't know why. I'll say interesting, fantastic. There you go. I'll change it up. Yeah, there's one video I was re-listening to make sure I didn't like misspeak, and I think Annette and I were cracking up because I said cool over like 30 times, so it was like 2 times per every 30 seconds. I was like, if someone played one of those games, take a shot every time Ross says cool, yeah, that would have been a bad time. Okay. This was not a expensive sale. It was $5.83, but I do want to talk about this because this game actually means a lot to me. So these are experience cards for the 4 factions in the Warcraft board game. So this right here is going to be all of the Night Elves right here. You can see some of like, they'll have some spells. I haven't actually played this board game. I got an incomplete one a long time ago. So like I parted these out. Most of these pieces already sold. I've never played this one. I've played there's a couple. There's like the Adventure board game, and then there's like one other board game. I think it's also called, no, that one's called the World of Warcraft board game. So yeah, right here, these are like the orcs and all their little spells and experience cards. I think these are like what you get when you're playing the game. You get experience. You probably draw one of these. You probably like look up what the icon does. This is like the cripple spell. This is the web from the fiends right here. Really cool stuff. This is the curse from the banshees. And then this is the humans right here, human faction. That's the dispel, I believe, from the priest, polymorph from the sorceresses. I don't know what these other like board game denotions are. This is invisibility from so really cool stuff, a lot of spells. So yeah, sorry, I'm geeking out about it. I've been really into watching Warcraft 3 PC game tournaments online. So I've been like obsessed with it. I'll literally spend like 30 minutes to an hour each day just watching tournaments from people. It's a game, I want to say, isn't it from like 2000 or something? It's pretty old. Really cool game. So yeah, it was cool to sell something that cool, very interesting game. So yeah, it's been interesting that I sold this $5.83, like I said, bits for the board game, but I've been into the actual tournaments and the pro scene of the game. I've just been watching it a lot. All right, last thing that sold for the day is this WizKids Star Trek Attack Wing Katinga class ship right here. So Attack Wing is going to be this like miniature game where you have a couple of ships. I think you play like on a 3-foot by 3-foot like playmat or area. I think you're supposed to take down the other faction ships and stuff. They have Star Trek, they have World War II and maybe other wars, and they have the Dragon one. I can't wait to find the Dragon stuff because if I ever find it, Netta's going to think it's super cool or fantastic, super. All right, guys, I'm fine. It's going to be super fantastic. Really awesome looking stuff. These, I think, are just pre-primed miniatures by WizKids, which do like Hero Clicks and Mage Knights. They also do a Dungeons and Dragons Pathfinder pre-prime miniatures where you can just open it up and paint on it. You don't have to spray paint it with a prime, which lets the acrylic paint stick on it. So I think you're supposed to paint these and then swap them in with your actual Attack Wing ships. That's a guess. I know I keep talking about the guesses when I sell these. This ended up selling for $13.49. So yeah, that's everything. This ended up being more than I thought, which is fantastic. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you think this is cool, post cool down below. Have a good one, everyone.